December 19, 2025. This is the S&P 500 E-futures mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. It was kind of really slow price action today, and it took a while for candles to really play out. I only identified, I think, maybe two setups, and there were some possible setups or almost setups that I didn't really like. And this red up channel, well, I had this as a trend line, but it wasn't quite, it was more touching these guys, but it didn't really come into play to help anything up here until after the fact when I thought, okay, there might be a line here. But to be honest, I don't really like it because it doesn't really have good confirmation up here. So it's more of a trend line and less of a trend channel. So you can probably collapse it down to here, which is actually what I had earlier, along with a few other lines slicing up. There were maybe, I mean, there was just these big moves that didn't result in any, I guess, good entries that I could find. So there was no economic data to move the markets one way or the other today. I'm just going to go into the trades right now. Hopefully, guys get this out of the way quickly because I got other things I got to do. So the pre-market, it was just pretty choppy, sell off. It was kind of like a little bit of a consolidation area here, pushes up, pulls back almost like two legs, gets choppy, and then pushes out into the open. When the open, I first initially thought it was moving up this orange up channel, broke, one attempt up, second attempt up, and then I thought maybe it was moving up this yellow up channel. And this yellow up channel later turned into a spike in a channel. But in real time, I didn't see, oh, didn't mean to do that. Go ahead and normalize this. In real time, I didn't see this purple up channel yet. So it's a break of this yellow up channel, move to test the high, comes back down, creates a second entry long here. It's a localized high, first entry long, just barely. Then it creates a second entry long here. Now, I didn't have this purple up channel as a key entry point. I didn't even have this drawn as a trend line yet. I just had this yellow and this orange one. And I just thought, okay, so break it, test the high, move down, break this orange, tested the low. I was thinking maybe it's going to test the low again because this isn't a very good signal bar for the second entry long. You'd have to take it on the engulfing, but there's very hard to justify taking this trade. So I was looking for a higher low. You get a higher low here, but my concern was I'm going to run into maybe the localized high and actually the high of day. So no trade here. Plus here, I don't know if I have a higher low yet. I get a higher low confirmed here because it's definitely higher than this, but I didn't like the look of this candle, the follow through. I mean, if I took it, my stop would be down here, but it doesn't feel like a safe trade and doesn't feel like the risk reward was worth it. Prices move up. It starts pushing up, hits this consolidation area, it's localized high, first entry long pullback. Technically, you have a second entry long right here. So it's actually where I thought it's probably one of the two only possible trades that I thought I might have considered. Well, one trade I did take. It was localized high, say first entry long pullback. Second entry long does look like it's two legs down from the top of this possible green range. EMA is holding support. There was a break here, early break here, another break here, and potentially another break here. This one kind of looks like, it didn't have as much power as it did here. Keep in mind this purple up channel still doesn't exist. So there's no, and if it did, it doesn't help in any way. But I thought it was a failed breakout of this green range. Decent signal bar, enough room for the EMA. But to be honest, I was just waiting for a higher low confirmation, but I thought it was a possible trade. I just I didn't have the read, or I didn't feel confident in my read. So it keeps going up and it pushes out. So if I did enter it, I'd be in this trade for 3 candles from this timestamp of 6:50 Pacific Standard all the way over to about 6:52. So I'd be in there for about a couple minutes, not the worst. But as I was sitting in here, seeing this play out, so I wouldn't have really liked this, although I would have been in the trade. I would not have liked this because now I'd be doubtful of whether I'd made the right call. And again, whether I was going for a 1 point scalp, which I am at the moment, it might have gotten out. But again, it's not leading to much confidence. And then finally, you have to wait for this one to play out. So definitely was waiting for a higher low. It never shows up, so this is just a trade that never happens. Pushes up. When this occurred, I actually I thought this was a spike in a channel because I actually had one touch, two touch. The high side also has two touches, maybe a third touch, but I thought this could be a viable channel. So I didn't really have it colored in. I had it kind of transparent at the time. Pushes up. It looks like it's another consolidation area. And then it gives you this higher low triple test. So this is actually where I decided that this is a viable purple up channel. So it looks like it's one leg down, pullback, second leg down, and it creates a higher low. You could argue it's pretty small to see though. It's a low, first entry short pullback, second entry short. You could say it's a second entry short failure, but I did see it as a triple test because it's a support area here and a higher low confirming prices are moving back up. So I actually entered on the trade. So when this is playing out, it actually broke above. I didn't drop my order in yet. I waited for the tick count to get closer to closing because I didn't want like the last 100 or 200 ticks to suddenly flush down and then give me a candle that looks something like one of these guys, where you have a long stem, but green. So I wanted to make sure it was close to finishing the candle that when it was close to finishing, then I dropped in my order. Fortunately, it came back, kissed my order, filled me, and pushed up, closed here. Then on the next candle opens, immediately gives me the target scalp, and then pushes back down. No runner today because I wasn't too sure. This is a faint dotted blue line here that's showing you the high of day. So, and I'm running into the potential high of this range. So I wasn't going to try to Mickey Mouse anything because the best I could hope for, or I mean, not the best, but if I went for a runner, I felt like I probably only just get one tick above my initial entry. So I might as well just get the full point instead of just one additional tick. So I just decided to scalp the whole thing out. So it works. This trading range is fitting pretty well. There's a potential fail breakout here, and it fails to touch and it starts coming back down. So I thought, okay, maybe there's this green down channel here. I didn't call this a failed breakout until much later, so this is a after the fact labeling. As it was moving back up, I thought, could this be another range, this blue one that's in play? So your first entry short, technically you have a second entry short, it's a bad signal bar. Even a second entry short failure, if you want to call it, is getting close to this localized high. So definitely no setups here. As it comes back down, that's when I established this blue trading range, and I thought this is a failed breakout. So I was thinking, at least when this is happening, would there be another attempt to create a corresponding failed breakout here? But by the time it moved past the halfway point of this range, I'm thinking more likely it's just going to come back down. It does. So I'm watching this carefully. I'm looking for a localized high, first entry long. I'm looking for a second entry long here. If it's a bad signal bar, it's a good signal bar, but I need confirmation it's a second entry long. You get a second entry long, but it also flushed down. And I was thinking I'm in this green down channel. So although I'm thinking second entry long, and while this candle hasn't closed yet, I'm thinking there's technically a possibility it could move back up, but I didn't want to take this just yet. I want to see, in this case, a higher low because of the fact that it was potentially could be interpreted as being in this green down channel. So it does create your higher low here. Actually, I should have marked this. It does give you your higher low here. So there's actual possible trade. There's a possible trade entry here with a potential, you could argue a triple test with a fail breakout, but there's a first break of the screen up channel, decent higher low. I would have tried to enter probably above this guy by one tick or at the highs of it. So it would have worked. If you were going for more than just a 1 point scalp, you'd have to sit through this noise and eventually probably get stopped out if you didn't get the trade here. When prices continue moving, bounces off this trading range support, moves to the high side, pushes out. So I'm not thinking there's a fail breakout here. How strong is this range? Is it going to pull prices back in? I also thought, okay, is a break of this orange up channel, break to the high, creates this potential fail breakout. So now expecting prices to move back in. Kind of does that. It kind of bounces off the EMA, but unexpectedly, I'm not really sure what's going on. So we could say it's a localized low, visual first entry, second entry, lower high, no lower high, maybe a lower high here, but I'm not a fan of this candle. Again, you have a lower high here, but now it's touched the high side, so I'm not doing anything with this. And then you got a visual first entry long pullback, second entry long EMA starting to come into play. So I'm not thinking of shorting, but I'm also not thinking of going long just yet because I'm concerned about running into the high side of this trading range. Pushes up and through. Okay, so now I'm not 100% clear on what's happening. I do draw this yellow up channel right here because it looks like it fits pretty well. This is the final version, so it was I was playing with the idea of maybe contact here and contact here a little bit lower, but ends up being here. Localized high, first entry long pullback, technically a second entry long. It's bad signal bar, visual second entry long because if you're really technical and doing the proper count, you could say it's a first entry, pullback, second entry, maybe a third, but I saw it as a visual first, second, but no trade for me. Wishes, and it starts flushing back down. It's a little noisy. Localized low, first entry short. Didn't mean to move that, but it equalized double bottom. So now it's a count reset. So it's a first entry short. By the time it makes a new high, I'm not thrilled about this potential second entry short. It's doji. It just gets really sideways right here, congested. Candles are really tight. Pushes up. It's a little choppy. It looks like it's another trading range, localized high, first entry long pullback. Technically, I have a second entry long here, but it's an inside bar, so I don't like that. Pushes to the high side again, new high, first entry long. You technically have a second entry long here if you're doing a technical count, but it's not really a clean second entry long because although this one confirms I'm moving higher than this guy, this is an inside bar to this. So it's actually more of a like big first entry long. Starts coming back down, moves down this orange down channel, break, looking for a test of the low of this orange down channel. This first attempt, this could be the second attempt, and it fails. So it looks like it's a new low, first entry short, second entry short. It's a bad signal bar. Don't really like it. Failed second entry short possibility, except this isn't a very clean. Well, I can't. I personally couldn't really tell if this is actually just sideways or trending up because this green up channel was drawn after the fact when more candles are printed. You do get a higher low here if it's bad higher low. So it starts trending up. That's when I established this green up channel, but I'm not the biggest fan of this price action because you just got a lot of spindly ticks above and below, and candles are effectively side by side. So it looks like it's kind of congestion trending up, which is the high side. So this is kind of where I established this red trend line going up, which could have been a channel, but it's not really helpful as a channel, so I just kept it as a trend line. But by the time it gets here, I didn't really trust as a key entry point, although there's confirmations down here, because there's confirmations down here. Then for the most part, prices ignored it till it came back down to here. So how strong is this relatively speaking to how, reliable it was down here? Not too much because it's just too far away. I needed like maybe some price action to come back down here and add another touch point here. But since it didn't happen, it's not something I could reliably trust as a key entry point. We do get second entries here, but it's just, again, choppy. Pushes down, fail breakout. Looks like it's first entry short pullback, second entry short. Maybe there's a second entry short here. Well, technically there is a second entry short, but I don't like this because this is just whipsaw. Previously, candles took quite a while to close, and all of a sudden, in about 6 minutes, you get all this crazy price action with these big candles. So that's telling me just to stay out. Plus, if you look at the timestamp of the day, this is not the time to try to take a trade when there's only 10 minutes left because this just gets really choppy, especially from here, 12:59 to about 1 o'clock Pacific Standard. This is 1 minute of trading, and that could easily have happened earlier around 12:50. You could have had just all that all the way to the close. Of course, you don't know that in real time, and you see this is at 12:50. You see this big candle. You don't know that it's going to play out like this. It could have had twice as many candles as you see here, all within those 10 minutes. So not not very encouraging to try to make a trade happen, especially if I already took a green trade earlier. But if I didn't have this trade, like it was gonna end up being a no trade day, I definitely still would not be drawn in to try to take or make something happen because it's the worst feeling. One of the not worst feeling, but in trading, it's just it'll bum you out if you were up for the day, then end up red for the day for no good reason on setups that are, in my opinion, like mediocre or you're really reaching. So hopefully that was helpful.